Hey guys, welcome to the show. This is the best magicians you have never heard of, and I am Jamie Matchett. So today's guest has been published in Genii magazine. He's recently lectured at TRIC's convention in North Carolina. And right now his SLY PALM video is out and available. And let me tell you, it's great. I want everybody to please welcome Rick Holcombe. Hey Rick, how are you?
Doing well.
Awesome, awesome. Can you take a minute and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. First of all, I'm a father of two little girls. I live in North Carolina, and magic has become a main part of my life, which started as a hobby, and now I'm creating magic, and it's something I love, and it brings me a lot of joy. And I don't rely on magic as an income. I have performed professionally, semi-professionally in the past at different restaurants and whatnot, but I find what truly brings me joy is the creative process in magic and coming up with original material. So I've always toyed with effects that I read in books or saw on video. How can I make this my own? How can I make this different? Instead of just learning the trick as is, you have to learn it as it's taught at some point. But I could never leave that alone. So I found myself continually tinkering with tricks, and as the years went by, I started creating original stuff. So a few years back, I slowly started releasing some of that stuff, and that's where I'm at today.
And do you have a template or something for that process, or is it different for each effect?
Some good things people can try. So if you have a favorite trick that you're currently working on, or that's in your repertoire, maybe it's an old trick that you've done for years, take a look at it again and really examine what the effect is. So if it's cards or coins, there's a certain number of effects in magic. If you look at Daryl Fitzke's, I think he lists 19 magical effects that are possible. So like transpositions, translocations, disappearance, appearance, and like I said, I think there's 19 different things. Can you take this old trick and alter it by creating a different effect through just changing one piece of this process? Or can you take away one piece of the process, and by doing that, does that change the feeling of the trick? So that's one place to experiment and have fun with. Something else I've done is try to translate an effect from one genre of magic to another. So like take an effect from cards and see if you can do that with coins. Like you've seen people, there's an ambitious coin effect out there.
Okay.
I think by Spanish magician Miguel Angel Gea and David Neighbors, I think, a coin magician, has done the invisible palm aces, but with coins. So that's an avenue you can have fun with, and sometimes it sparks in a new direction, and you might come up with something you never intended on doing. But maybe taking an effect you already have done for a long time and bring in a new element and see how that can interact with the way you've done it forever. Like, can this new element make it a new trick or a better trick?
Those are some great tips. One idea that I really liked when I was watching one of your videos was that you changed the object that was magical. So instead of coins joining other coins, in your case, used a ring as the magical device. So it was the ring that was attracting the coins as opposed to the coins. And that's just a little tiny difference. The trick works exactly the same otherwise, except the new introduction of that ring. And that changes the entire trick. It changes the entire psychology of the trick.
Right.
So those are great tips. Absolutely. So obviously, you're a coin guy. You're playing around with your coin there. So you got something you can show us? You got something you can educate us with?
Sure.
Awesome. Let's check it out.
Jamie, have you ever seen one of these? It's a little bit hard to see, but it's actually a coin. Now, this isn't just any coin. This is an invisible coin. See, if I squeeze it, it becomes invisible. I know it's hard to see, but if I give it another squeeze, it just comes back. We can make it invisible again, catch it in the air. But like I said, just another squeeze and it comes back. I'll show you the moment where it goes from being invisible back to being visible in midair. Just like that. It's weird because when it's invisible, it can actually travel through objects like fabric. So for instance, the fabric of my pants there. But sometimes I get confused and it changes to different objects. So these are some of its friends. So now we have 3 coins here. Now you're watching 1 coin fly around, but it's a little bit different with 3. So we'll take these 3 coins and one by one, they should end up over here. Over here. Well, there we go. So that's the first one, 2 over there. So like the first one, the second one should end up over here. The second one, there we go, over there. Now the third one is, I'll give you a better chance to see what's happening from my perspective. So I'll turn around here. Can you see that?
Yeah, that looks good.
All right. So from my perspective, watch the last coin. And it just pops up there.
It's so good.
All 3 coins.
The pants pocket, when you change it to the coin purse, I love it. And I do that with every object I can think of to see where it gets me or what I can come up with. I love it. So
it's a really valuable, it can take you a lot of places, that simple little trick. Because there's not a lot of convenient excuses to go to your pocket. But so yeah. I use that ploy for a few different routines I have.
Awesome. It's so good. Can you share some of that with us?
Sure.
Absolutely.
A 1 coin routine is a fantastic way to practice your coin sleights, your palms, and the transitions from palm to palm. And all it takes is 1 coin. You should be carrying this around all day, every day. If you want to get better at coin magic, it starts with 1 coin.
Right.
And that's easy to do. So this is more of a concept than than a routine, but I'll teach you this, what I'm specifically doing. So, and for this particular thing, I have 4 coins, and 3 of them are in a coin purse, coin wallet. And this is fairly large, and it makes for a good sudden change at the end of the 1 coin part. The wallet of your choosing is in your left pocket, and then at a convenient time, you're classic palming a coin. So before you begin, you're just classic palming, and you approach the audience. Now I do a simple wash here, and I'm not a fan of these overcomplicated things. So this is my little hand wash. And I believe I first saw this from Troy Hooser. He's one of my favorite coin magicians. So you're in classic palm, right hand. With your thumb on top, you're just going to come down your left hand, turn over, and then you're going to turn your body to the right. So down, your palm goes against your left hand, and your right hand kind of rides the area between your thumb and first finger as you come to your right. Coming down, turn right hand, go up your thumb, and then come down your right hand. So in action, it's just this.
Right.
Have you seen one of these? You might just reach out in the air or off their sleeve. And then this is a move I call the empty shuttle. So it's a cool appearance of a coin. So it's like a shuttle pass, but one of your hands is empty and the other one is going to reveal that coin. So you take this nothing and you're going to toss it over. At the same time, the left hand is just using its momentum and the weight of that coin to give it this animation. This is like the Jay Sinke's flying shuttle.
Yes.
But it's even less effort.
It just looks like it's floating through the air and lands in your hand.
You're just turning palm up. You're not actually like flicking this. Just turn palm up, and that coin has enough animation to it.
And it's a great looking effect.
So boom, there's a coin. And now I might toss it for a second. Might give a coin roll. And then here I just do a fake take. So you're planting your right hand fingers down. And you're going to act like you're taking this coin away. What's really happening is your left hand's going to kill back like 45 degrees as your right hand comes up. And your eyes follow your right hand. So you're here, crunch the coin, do your best acting, and now it's invisible. Now, I say the coin is invisible from the start instead of it's vanishing and reappearing and vanishing.
Right.
So this is an invisible coin, which gives you a lot more room to play with. You can play with this invisible object now. You don't have to pretend it's vanished.
And when you're moving your hands like that, it looks real. Can you give some tips on the motions while not having the coin in your hand?
Well, I remember as a kid, like just being in the backyard and throwing the football up in the air to myself and catching it like that.
Right.
Sometimes I would try to catch that football by meeting it in the air and slowing it down. Instead of like snatching it, I would just like kind of meet it in the air and bring it to a stop. So kind of You can do this with an actual coin. Like, how does this feel when if I could crunch this, if I could move this? So it's just the same.
And like that right there, the demonstration of weight, giving it as it falls down, like it's got mass, even though there's nothing there.
I would say just as you throw and catch, you wanna snap.
Awesome.
After you throw, don't just throw. Let your hand follow through a little bit with something. As you're waiting for it to come back, and then before it comes back, lower your hand and then snap. So it's like you're following its path in the air, and then you get it. And that kind of gives it more of a realism.
That's a great tip.
The coin's in left-hand finger palm. We're going to do this appearance from Chris Korn, the Korn production. So at the right angle, the audience can't see that coin. Just pretend there's lasers on your fingertips and point those back to the bridge of their nose. And you'll know your angle is fine.
Awesome.
So come in with this invisible coin. Just close your left hand, and you're going to pinch the edge of this coin as it meets your right fingers. Then just open your fingers, and it's a nice appearance of a coin.
Nice.
So the next vanish, I let that coin fall into the palm of my left hand. And this is the way I approach the spider grip vanish from Ed Marlowe or Michael Skinner, maybe. One of them. I don't do it from up here, and I think it feels awkward.
Okay.
So the coin's lying in the left hand. The right hand's going to actually take the coin. But you want to close your left hand right after that. And you're going to act like you're throwing the coin with your right hand. As you come down, you're clenching into classic palm. Throw up. Your eyes follow the path of the invisible coin. And then as your eyes are in the air, you just kind of open your left hand. So what you're selling the audience here is like a little fake out, which is the purpose of the spider grip vanish. It's like a sucker vanish, but that's kind of like in your face. So this takes it like off the audience, and the sucker aspect is sort of like besides the point.
Right.
Because you're not even looking at your hands. You're not looking at the audience. You're looking in the air. So we've come here, thrown this up. As we're looking up, our left hand opens because we're going to go catch this. And the audience gets the point.
Right.
They're going to do a little double take. Wait, what? So you bring this to your fingertips as if it were at your fingertips. And then I'm going to pass it to my right hand. In the process, I'm going to dump the coin off to my left hand. So you can do this with a muscle pass, or you can just come close and release this right onto your left hand finger palm.
And the momentum of your right hand moving forward will let the coin pop out naturally. But the muscle pass looks more natural because it kind of jumps before.
You can keep a little bit more distance if you're muscle passing. So
right.
This is a muscle pass. And then this is a drop off.
Yeah, and you can see the difference. When you do the drop off, your palm does, you can see it.
You have to.
It's not noticeable. Nobody would ever see it. But with the muscle pass, you can do it like 3 inches ahead of time. And then it looks more.
You only have to get as close as your fingertips, because you have to grab this and come away. And then do another corn production there. And then the next part, I show the audience where the coin is invisible and it becomes visible again in midair. So you're going to do just a retention vanish. And this isn't anything special, but this is the way I do a retention vanish. So the coin is held by its edge between the index and thumb. And just underneath is your middle finger. So the coin's not like perfectly sideways, but it's a little bit up. And then your middle finger's there to keep it in that position. Now your grip should be light enough that if you removed your middle finger, that coin would swing at that pivot point.
Okay.
So as you bring it to your left hand and your left hand begins to close, once you have that cover, you bring your middle finger away. And then the coin swings down. Now your middle finger just brings that coin from a front-facing position to an edge-facing position. So we move the finger and then flip. So you'll end up in this spot. So what that looks like is that.
Yeah, that's good.
So we're in this spot with the coin under the thumb and basically balanced on the middle finger with coverage from your first finger.
Yeah, that looks so good.
You're going to duck your thumb under. And then this might be complicated, but it's worth the practice. So your thumb ducks under. Your middle finger still has control. And then your first finger is going to push that coin back into balance palm. So from the front, it's already there.
Very nice.
Now, something I do in between the transitions from here to here, I just give a little wave. So the hand comes back and then back to the left hand. Touching this fleshy part, but it's resting on my thumb.
Right.
This muscle right here.
So it's in basically back thumb palm without being squeezed.
Right.
Okay. And then
that's where we're going next.
Okay.
Retention, clench, and then you can open your hand. Now I say to the audience, let me show you when that coin becomes visible again from being invisible. So you get this nice moment when you can gesture with an open hand. And that's just a matter of bringing your thumb up, and now you're in back thumb palm.
That's a great practice thing, to go into a retention vanish, slide it into balance palm.
From there, you want to turn your body and then tip your palm upward. This actually has back thumb palm. Seems like a crazy place to have a coin, but your angles are pretty well covered. As long as you just keep your palm towards that audience, you can bring it back to balance palm.
You kind of just point this fleshy part at people.
Yeah.
And that'll give you the angle. That's what
or completely upward. Let your pinky and ring finger relax. This looks weird, but if you just kind of do this, it looks a little bit better.
Good tip.
It's invisible, and it's going to become visible again. So we toss over like this. Now all that's required here is a downward jerk. And you're going to open up your thumb. And that coin will come from back thumb palm right into your hand. So we're here, and it's there. And just time it so it lands. And then the last little part, I just do a French drop here. And I've done a video on the French drop as well on YouTube, but my main point is to keep that coin moving and turn what's taught as a taking move, turn it into a putting move. So you're showing that coin here and hand it off to the other hand. And you're making this old move look a whole lot better. By lifting your thumb away, it's giving a better impression of an empty hand there.
When I first saw you do the French drop and your advice on that put, it's the first time I've seen somebody talk about it that way other than me, because it was one of my favorite things about the French drop was the put, because I didn't like it in general. And then your little additions on it made it even better. So if you guys are looking for one good tip out of this whole thing, I'm telling you, this on the French drop makes a huge difference.
And you're going to come to your pocket. So this coin's just finger palm.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, you're grabbing that wallet or whatever you can change the coin into something else too. Now you're going to come with your right hand, and I begin to now push this coin out. Just get your thumb on it, push it out like this. But I'm pushing it into the material of my pants. So, and then from inside my pocket, my left fingers are pinching that coin.
Okay.
So for a second, the right hand looks really empty now. But then I can begin to reveal that coin as you pull it out. And then it finally comes all the way out. Now I like to toss it here because my left hand's coming out with a big object. So I toss the coin up as I'm looking at it, and I turn from left to right a little bit. Now you're just going to do a shuttle pass, but with two objects. So it becomes a transformation. And this coin just gets finger palmed as the left hand reveals that object. Could be a phone, a jumbo coin, but timing those together.
It looks so good.
The convincing transformation.
When people see that, they literally, like, their eyes bug out. And people worry about how big that purse is or whatever you're going to appear. It really doesn't matter. You could hold very large objects because nobody's paying attention to that yet.
Sticking out the back of my hand, I'm holding it by the corner.
Anything big that you can, if you can get it in cop palm.
Yeah,
that's basically almost
a cop.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned in the beginning, that move to the pocket is a great way to get into any number of other things.
Mm-hmm.
So this is allowing me to transition into a new trick. But for the audience, this is going to seem like, one long event.
I mean, just that alone will make your coin magic better. Thanks for doing that, Rick. So at the end of my show, I always like my guests to suggest somebody to be on the show in the future. Do you have anybody in mind that you think would want to be on the show and people would enjoy seeing?
Yes. A good friend of mine, Cameron Braxton. He's a card guy. So
Okay.
you've gotten a coin guy here, so I'm going to recommend a card guy to you.
Perfect.
He's out of Houston, Texas, but he just moved there. He was up in Virginia, and he comes down. I'm near Raleigh, but there's this convention every year in Charlotte, and he would drive down there, and we never hung out apart from that, but we would just sit and talk, deep stuff, funny stuff, doing tricks back and forth. He's a great thinker and one of the smoothest cardmen I've ever seen.
I want to thank you for being on the show. It was incredibly entertaining, and I think people are going to get a lot out of this, because this isn't just necessarily about magic tricks. This is about more than that, and I think that's what people are going to take from this and what they should take from this. And I also want to thank everybody that's watched today. If you did get some value out of this and you enjoyed this and you want to see more, hit like and subscribe. We're here every Thursday at 8 p.m. and we'll be here again next week. Thanks for watching. Slightly out.